found out that they're not.
No,
So,
I had a feeling they wouldn't.
yeah, well, yeah.
Why did you have faith in them?
I don't know.
Why did you ask? You
no
should have just
idea.
assumed and not done anything.
Well, we kind of did assume, or Jono had put in Slack that he assumed that they were doing
right.
it, and I was like,
6
oh,
days
cool.
ago.
Yeah, and then like said nothing. There was just no responses. So I just wanted to clarify, just in case like we were off the hook for whatever the fuck this turns into. Yeah, and turns out we were not. So here we are recording another episode of Pleasure Explosion. I think that might be episode
50.
50.
Well,
Episode 5.
I
Yeah.
am stoked that we have something awesome planned
And
for
for this
today.
historic milestone, yeah.
Yeah. Does 50 count?
I don't know. I don't
I reckon
think it's...
52. 52 is a year.
Yeah, a year and then 100 is, I think, more important.
Yeah. I was thinking 100 was a pretty big one. But then I had a moment just then. I was like, how does it 50 weeks? But we met at RTX, and RTX is happening this week again. What?
Took a couple
Yeah,
of
we
weeks.
took a while to
but
get going.
It took us for a little while to get going, which, yeah, I figured out eventually.
I believe when we get 100 episodes, we get a letter from the Queen.
Yeah, that's how
that's how it
podcasting works.
Yeah, we're in the Commonwealth, so
Yeah.
so that's what it is.
Anytime you hit 100 and anything, the Queen
Cool.
sends you a letter.
She does.
She's writing a lot of letters these days. Not much else to do.
Yeah.
Well, they've. She hasn't retired from public life yet, has she?
No, I don't think so.
But Philip has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That lich.
he's fantastic.
He's something.
He is something.
Have either of you watched The Crown?
No.
No,
It's really good. You should watch it.
who's in it? That's the Netflix
it's-
one, isn't it?
yeah,
Like the
it's
TV.
It's got
Claire
Matt Smith,
Foy-
right?
Yeah, Matt Smith is Prince Philip and Claire Foy is the Queen.
I don't know who she is.
Neither did I before I watched it.
Huh.
And I don't know what she's in other than The Crown.
It might be exclusively The Crown at this point.
I normally have zero interest in the royalty, the royal family and all that, but that show is really good.
Why do you have zero interest in them?
Because I don't think that they should be a thing these days.
Go
What?
on.
Well, they just have no place
Expound, as
in-
they say.
They have no place in modern society. They're just essentially tax-paid celebrities.
Isn't technically all celebrities taxed? Well, not tax, I guess, but people paid celebrities.
Yes, but that funding could be going elsewhere, to helping actual society instead of letting them live a life of fucking...
I don't know how much they get
luxury.
paid by the government, or like how much taxes.
All their money comes from the government.
They don't get paid much by us in Australia and New Zealand, but like British taxpayers pay. It's something like it might be a little bit over or a little bit under £1 each per year to keep the monarchy existing, to pay for all their stuff. I think
I'm sure they bring in a lot of money though for Britain, like in
I
collector
imagine
cups and spoons and
yeah, and general
and
tourism.
plates. Yes. Oh, and
Yeah,
when that Prince Harry Meghan Markle wedding goes off, it's going to be huge.
That's going to be a thing. And there's the other one getting married now too. The other one being, what's her name? Like Eugenie, something like that. One of Fergie's kids. Anyway, she got engaged.
Oh.
Yeah,
Cool.
that happened like a week later. Much lesser news. Nobody really cares that much. Which she must be like 9th or 10th in line for the throne or
Yeah.
something like that. She's
Where it doesn't even count to count that far.
a little bit further down. Yeah, unless there's some like disastrous plane crash or something like that. Then
Actually, they're not all.
we're actually
They're
safe.
not allowed to fly together anymore, like at all. They all have
Really?
to take separate transport.
It's
in
like
case stuff
America
like
with
that
the
does happen.
designated survivor during the State of the Union.
Yeah. So, Keith
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
I was going to say Keith Richards. I was like, that's not right.
That was a
20
TV show, wasn't it?
24 would have been a way different show with Keith Richards.
So would Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, not played one. But on the monarchy, like, it's kind of funny that you say that, Nick, because I find quite often when I go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole of just like click a link inside that article, click the next one.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, I swear, I end up back on something to do with the royal family.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Because they've got their
really
hands
weird.
in everything.
It's just, well, it's maybe not them, more like
It's
a
just
6
your,
degrees of separation type thing. It's just
natural
the thing.
predisposition of your
It's just what
nationality.
interests me, and I click around a bit, and then it can be anything from like learning about one of the castles or one of the official residences at the moment, or any like Norman invasion, that kind of thing. Like so, it's not just I get back to Queen Elizabeth II, but I managed to somewhere along that like timeline cross the line of this is an interesting piece of something about the monarchy.
Oh, the history of the royal family is fantastic. It's just these days I don't think they have a place.
Because what does she actually do?
Nothing.
She does a lot of
Shows
state
up-
stuff.
Yeah,
she
she
shows
shows
up
up
and
at public
opens
events.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's on the money.
She has practically no power these days.
Yeah, so what she I assume in England that she has to sign bills into law.
Yeah, I think she scribbles something on a piece of paper and stuff happens, but other than
Yeah.
that...
Because we have a Governor General, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you guys have got
Yeah,
a
we
Governor
have
General
similar.
as well,
Yeah, we do,
who's the Queen's representative in
Correct.
that state, yeah. Which basically means is the what is it? Analog, maybe is the word I'm thinking of a president. So it's like it's that head of state position.
Yeah.
That's largely well, some presidents aren't largely ceremonial. But for us, it's
Bloody
largely
Kennedy.
ceremonial, and just if the Prime Minister ends up bringing this piece of paper, then great, sign on the dotted line,
Yeah,
and it's now law.
exactly.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of what my most recent one was, because it's something quite interesting, but it's escaping me for the moment. But Charlemagne, you reckon? No, it was there was something that we're talking about the Bayeux Tapestry. I don't know if it's a podcast or a TV show I was watching or something like that, and that was maybe why the Norman invasion was on my mind when I mentioned it before.
How's your finger?
My finger is all but fixed. I think I've been back at. Well, I say all but fixed. It still hurts sometimes, but I've been officially discharged from the hospital.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
had my I assume last appointment at physiotherapy on one of the days next week. I think it's Thursday, but yeah, I still have a strange contraption I have to wear on my finger to stop the middle joint in my finger from bending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I in trying to straighten my finger, I'd been pulling far too much on the middle joint, trying to straighten the top bit, overcompensating, and then like not having done damage, but just straining that middle joint a bit. So yeah, I've had this.
Are you back
on
at
for
karate
about a
full
month.
time?
As of this week, yeah. I went to like fitness classes 2 weeks ago or something like that, just general running up and down and squats and kicks and shit. And then last weekend I was in Sydney, and so
Seeing the Foo Fighters.
this week seeing not the Foo Fighters, yeah.
Well,
But
you saw the Foo Fighters, you just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, it's all right.
I
I
would
know Dave
gladly
Grohl is
admit-
the worst, but it's okay.
Isn't he terrible?
Oh, he's the worst. Absolute worst.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah. Shut up, Kieran. Yeah, the Foo Fighters played in Auckland last night, and I was close to going, I think, but tickets were like flights up to Auckland were incredibly expensive.
How expensive?
I think it was going to be around about $500 return.
Jesus
Whoa.
Christ.
Yeah, So which
Isn't
is
it only
like
like 20 k's away?
Couldn't you have driven?
No, it's an hour's flight.
Fucking hell.
I don't know what the distance is. Like, how
There's
it
a lot of
compares to,
they have to get around, I assume.
Yeah,
in New Zealand,
yeah,
right?
we don't have particularly great highways. Yeah, State Highway 1 is like we have a lot of Airbnb guests through, and they talk about the state of the highway, just like one lane either way, no median, like all basically has corners. Was feedback we got from these German tourists recently.
They'd be used to the autobahns.
They'd be the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like he turned 18. He got on his friend's motorbike. He went out to the autobahn and he blasted it as fast as he could at 250 k's an hour or something like that. And I was just like, yeah, no, we're not set up for that sort of stuff. Like, surprised well, maybe not he personally, but surprised you don't hear about more people dying on the autobahn.
Either that or it's so commonplace that they don't even report it.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
I don't know how much German news you get.
I think
There's
very
not really
little,
a German
but
report.
You would have thought, because the autobahns are relatively famous, I think, for not having speed limits. So you'd think if there were enough accidents and enough people dying that they were thinking about, well, if there were enough, they would think about putting a speed limit on there, and then that would become like maybe global news. I think it would be quite widely spread that Germany are intending
something ironic. I searched Autobahn deaths 2017, and the first link that come up was New Zealand Herald.
Oh, really? I don't read the Herald, so that's all right. What does it say about how many deaths there were on the Autobahn?
From January to November 2013, deaths on Autobahn rose by 8% to 387 fatalities, compared to 358 deaths over the same period in 2012.
So
like one a day.
Approximately one a day.
Yeah.
I think that death toll, if that's exclusively on the Autobahn and not in Germany in general, that is roughly equivalent to the death toll on New Zealand roads. Just like an annual death toll. But
the
how many
population
people are in Germany?
percentage, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That's like 8% of New Zealand.
Yeah, give or take.
What's the maximum speed limit in New Zealand?
The speed limit is 100. There are some places where they're talking about putting it up to 110.
Yeah.
Just on particularly new straight pieces of motorway.
Yeah.
The very rare ones they make, apparently.
Yeah, the extremely rare ones they make. But generally it's 100.
Yeah.
Though the police, I think if it's not a holiday weekend, there's 10k leniency.
Yeah.
So they'll only give you a ticket if you're on 111 k's. Then you get an 11 k's over ticket. Yeah, but because you guys have 110, don't you?
Yeah, 110
some places
on most highways, and freeways.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's already 110
I believe
on those pieces of road. I just
there's
don't
roads
drive
in the
often
middle of
enough.
Australia that go up to like 130 or 140.
Well, actually, there's ones in Northern Territory, I think, that don't have a limit on them.
Yeah.
Because
there's
nobody
long,
uses them.
Flat.
Yeah, but basically long flat, nobody uses them. It's
Yeah.
just like a bunch of farmers out there, and they are going to drive sort of appropriately to the conditions, and they drive this road every day. So it doesn't matter if they're like blasting along at 160 or something like that. Then they're not doing any damage. Because I remember reading in the news that they were quite a big tourist attraction or hotspot or something like that. That people would come and try and go literally as fast as possible. Kill themselves. Well, not literally. Literally for their car as fast as possible. Kill themselves, and then it was a big issue. So they put speed limits on the road, which might be where the 130 thing came from that you're thinking of, Nick. But then they recently removed them again.
Yeah, in Northern Territory there are 4 highways that have 130 kilometres per hour zones.
Nothing with unlimited.
I'm pretty sure there's like a big basin or something, down in South Australia or something. You can go that they do like land speed records and that sort of thing.
That sounds like a piece of desert, though.
Yeah, not like a road.
Like the salt flats or whatever in California, where people go with a small rocket attached to 4 wheels and go far faster than ever was intended.
Northern Territory used to have no blanket speed limits outside major towns until January 2007.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is that the whole Northern Territory?
Yeah, outside of major towns.
Which is almost all of the Northern Territory.
Yeah, what's that? Darwin. If you're not in Darwin,
knock yourself out.
Yeah, then have fun.
Maybe Alice Springs. That would be any other place.
Okay.
Is Alice Springs in Northern Territory?
Yeah. That's where the Ayers Rock is.
Well, yeah, I know it's where Ayers Rock is, but it's right in the middle.
Yeah.
A little bit north and middle, yeah.
Well, it's in the Northern Territory, apparently. Yeah.
Well, the Northern Territory is longer than half of Australia.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's all desert, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah, there's basically nothing there apart from camels and kangaroos.
Yeah.
I believe.
Birkenbill's had a really boring time.
The what?
Birkenbill's had a really boring time.
They're the explorers who went through Australia, through the desert.
Straight up the guts. Balls deep.
What did they do? Just like walk for 30 days or something and get to the other side?
They were
and
explorers.
Go, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I guess it's the same as going across Antarctica, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even
it's like any
America.
explorer. You don't know what's going to be there.
Uncharted territory.
What about Dora?
Yeah, she always seems to know what's going to be at the end.
I feel like she knows what it is, and she already knows what it is in Spanish too. So it's like she gets a bit of a heads up.
Well, the definition of words in Spanish doesn't change where you travel to.
She just knows Spanish.
That's a fair point. Yeah, she's just bilingual, isn't she? Yeah, she just knows Spanish and English. Yeah, she's not like an English kid who learns Spanish along the way. She's a Spanish kid who's teaching English. She's teaching English-speaking children
Spanish. Yeah,
some Spanish. Yeah.
Oh, is that the premise of the show?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. And she's got a backpack. I know that.
I just assumed it was in 2 languages for both demographics.
It's probably a bit of that.
I think it's kind of like a Sesame Street style word of the day type thing, but you learn word of the day in Spanish.
Right.
But they must. I'm fairly certain they do it in other languages as well, because a friend of mine had talked about watching Dora in Te Reo, but I don't know if that's like the.
Right.
I don't know if that's the English is actually in Te Reo Māori, or if the Spanish bits they're just swapping out the Spanish word for a different language.
Possibly.
Unclear.
I can't find any definite mission statement for Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily worth looking for one, but that's all right.
Did you know apparently they had a tween age makeover of Dora the Explorer?
What?
Yeah. Oh. In 2009. Yeah.
Tween Dora.
What does that mean? Like there was
teenage, I guess.
Like that.
Okay, no, that's
like she's not a little girl anymore. Like
that's weird.
Time jump. Yeah, it's weird.
Did she like teach us different words in Spanish?
Probably.
We're learning about our cell phones and fashion.
It's like those episodes of The Simpsons where they grow up.
Yeah, I guess. That's very foreign.
It's for the girls that grow up that think Dora's too kiddie for them now.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
It does.
I only remember one episode of The Simpsons where they grew up, and that's the one that Milhouse was super buff in.
Is that the one?
I think they go to a fair, and like a fortune teller is telling them what
telling Lisa her future.
Yeah.
She marries the English guy.
Yeah.
Or tries to, and it all goes horribly wrong or something.
Yeah.
Or is that the same one that she becomes president?
No,
and
that's a different one.
It's like a drop kick. Yeah. So there's 2 at least.
Yeah, there's at least 2. That sounds familiar now you say it, that she was president. But I was just thinking about Milhouse not being able to put any muscle on his calves. It's like the hardest part or something like that.
Millhouse.
Oh,
It's all
what a
coming up
character.
Millhouse.
It certainly wasn't coming up Milhouse for him at that point.
Not at all.
No.
I haven't watched like new Simpsons in years. I don't know
I
what
think
the quality's like.
every single year, I think, a new season of The Simpsons starts, and there's a big hoo-ha about, that's season 39,000 of The Simpsons, and who would have thought it was going to last this long? And I always managed to procure 1 or 2 episodes at the start of the season, and I put it on, and I'm like, this is just crap. Like, this isn't good, and I'm not enjoying this.
It makes you wonder who's watching it though.
Like,
is it
that's what I was thinking.
the diehards that like I can't give it up?
Or is it like a transitional kind of show actually that you watch and enjoy The Simpsons when you are between the ages of like 12 and 19 or something like that?
It's like Sesame Street, but for like a older demographic.
Well,
You just keep watching it until you grow out of it.
yeah,
Yes, maybe.
that's what I mean. Do you like grow out of it at some point and you just don't like it anymore? And we know episodes of The Simpsons and we like episodes of it just for nostalgia more than anything. Or was
But
it
another thing
actually
too
better?
is like back when we were into Simpsons, back when we were young kids, like
It was good.
yeah, it was good, and we
that's
were much
my
more
question.
limited
Was it
in
good,
forms of
or
entertainment.
did we just think it was?
We were that much more limited in forms of entertainment, where kids these days have a plethora
Yeah.
of stuff. Like my household isn't even hooked up to free-to-air TV, so like we can't get it unless we pay for it. Like
Yeah.
I'm surely there's other households out there that kids can't watch The Simpsons.
Oh, well, did you hear the big news about The Simpsons? Well,
No.
within Australia. It's moving from
39,000.
Channel
Oh,
10 to Channel 7.
What does that
Travesty.
even mean, Basil?
Well, Channel 10 has had The Simpsons forever. Since it begun.
Yeah.
3,000
Now
years
they
ago.
don't.
Yeah. And now it's going to be on Channel 7, a different network, TV network.
So that's like an entirely different
Network.
Network.
Like
Yeah,
owned
not the
by
actual
somebody
channel
different.
number. Yeah, like a different enterprise.
That's stupid that you have that, by the way.
What?
It's just like your $2 coin is smaller than your $1 coin.
What,
That-
do we name our channels after the number? That
To be
No,
fair,
you
channels-
don't, though. You don't. Channel 10 isn't on like the number Channel 10.
It used to be before
You
we
kind
used
of-
digital.
Yeah, before they changed the way things are broadcast.
Yeah, well,
When it was analog,
fucking change the name of your channel then. You're not Channel 10 anymore. You're on like 4.
Yeah, but changing the name, you lose market share.
Not if
And-
everybody
I
does
think
it at the
that-
same time.
They're not actually
Recognition
channels
and-
anymore. I'm pretty sure they're just all called networks. So
Yeah, Network 10. 7 is also known as Prime. There's 9.
what are the channels in New Zealand?
Yeah.
One,
Run us through-
2. I should have just stopped at 1 for slightly more dramatic effect, shouldn't I?
There's only one.
What
Yeah,
channel
there's
is
only one.
Shortland
It's
Street
called
on?
The channel. Shortland Street's on Channel 2.
Oh.
So there's Channel 1 and 2, which are owned by one company. There are channels 3 and 4 that are owned by another company. And then there's Prime, which is owned by another. And I think there's...
It'd be the same as our 7, I
like,
think. Prime is...
Multi
also-
TV as
What
well,
about
which...
Murdoch?
No, Murdoch's 9.
No.
Murdoch's
Okay.
Channel 9, yeah.
Who owns
I
7?
don't know if he owns any of our TV stations. 1 and 2, I'm fairly certain, are like the state-owned.
Oh, so they're like
ones.
the ABC, or
ABC and
SBS, yeah.
NBS, yeah.
Okay, maybe. Yep.
Yep.
Well, the BBC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
and
universal answer.
3 and 4. Fuck, I don't think it's even 4 anymore. I think there's something on the number 4, but it's got a regular name. But my point, where it makes considerably more sense than your ridiculous system, we don't have any channels called a number that don't live on that number.
But we used to.
Well-
That's the
well-
point.
Well,
We
that
don't
just
like
proves
change.
how backwards New Zealand is, that they're still on the same system that they were 40 years ago.
Because
Do you
it
have-
works.
Do you have digital TV?
Is it
Of
still
course we have
4?
digital TV. Me personally, I don't. There's something up with my TV or aerial at the moment that it can't remember the channels or something weird. About 2 weeks ago, it just like turned the TV on, went to go to channel 2 or something. It could have been 1.
Your TV's got that Drew Barrymore thing from 50 First Dates.
Yeah. And it forgot all the channels, and then had to like
Reset
do a
it.
scan, and it scanned, found the channels. Cool, great. After a little while, it just forgot them again. But it wasn't when it went to sleep and woke up the following day.
Well, just never turn your TV off.
What happens if Drew Barrymore just stays awake?
I think she
Does she
dies.
remember?
Yeah,
I don't think
you would die eventually.
No, but like
like
if it's like pulls an all-nighter, does she forget everything at like say
no, it's when
6
she
o'clock
falls
the next
asleep.
morning?
Yeah, it's a short-term memory loss thing. From memory. From 50 First Dates, if you're not following along at home.
See, the question
I wonder-
had
I
about
wonder
50
if
First
she-
Dates
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they had a kid at, like right at the end. She wakes up and there's a video to watch, and he's basically like, "We've got a kid. We live here. I'm your husband. We love each other, and this is great." Which we found out earlier in the movie was not enough to convince her what was going on, but that's fine. That plot hole notwithstanding. How do you wake up like 7 months pregnant?
Exactly.
That'd be freaking scary.
And not like freak the fuck out.
Or wake up
for
30
quite a
years
while.
years later and you're like some old lady. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause does she wake up thinking that she's the same age every time?
Yeah.
I
It's
guess
have
so,
to.
yeah.
Is there something to do with her birthday in there? She
I don't
doesn't like
think so,
wake up
no.
on her birthday repeatedly.
Oh, no,
or
no,
is her
they-
birthday like always a week away or something like that? Or-
Something like that, yeah. Or because I know she gets, I don't know if she gets the pancake or the waffles every day for her birthday or something.
I know there's a seal too, or it might
There
be
is.
like a sea lion or something. Yeah, and well, apart from the fact that Adam Sandler is also in that film, and I don't think we mentioned him yet, that is basically all I can tell you about 50 First Dates.
Sean
I wonder
Astin.
what the time period of sleep has to be. Like, what if she segments her sleep into like 2-hour lots?
I don't know. She should probably. She's had 30 some. She's had a lot of time. At least
Yeah, but it
9
doesn't
months.
seem
She
like
should have done
they-
some research.
I'm not a
You would think
scientist.
so.
Yeah, like what if you go for an afternoon nap?
Yeah, do you forget
Does-
everything that happened? That do you wake up and go, "What? I slept all day."
Yeah, does the whole day reset?
I don't know.
No.
Huh.
Maybe you have to go into a deep sleep. You know how there's different stages of sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to hit like REM
Yeah.
to have your brain reset.
Has a micro
Well, that's
sleep
what-
behind the wheel and wakes up driving.
That's concerning, the idea of a micro sleep behind the wheel, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
They're
but
great
no.
fun.
Are they though?
No, not really.
Not for passengers, I don't imagine.
Or
it's
other
kind of-
people on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
trust
how
your tired
accidents
seat.
happen, Nicholas.
Stop, revive, survive.
What?
Stop, revive, survive. It's
What do you mean revive?
Yeah, revive is
know.
a poor choice of words in that campaign.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
odd. It sounds like it should be a drink.
I think it means like
Like-
revitalize yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
have a cup of coffee or something like that.
Yeah. I can imagine what it's supposed to be, but it does sound a bit like
Having a health potion or something.
yeah.
Performing a satanic ritual.
Have an elixir. Or that Revive is like. You could imagine Revive being a brand of like caffeinated drink owned by
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola have actually paid for this Stop, Revive, Survive campaign, and not the government trying to stop people from driving while
Stop,
impaired or
have a
whatever.
bump of cocaine and drive again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop. V.
Drive.
Survive. Yeah, drive, survive, whatever it was.
Don't drive tired, guys.
Yeah.
No,
That's
it's
a
not
much
good for you.
better slogan.
Oh, I couldn't drive today, actually. Speaking of driving when tired, I
Yeah.
stayed up until 2 o'clock last night.
What were you doing?
I don't think you're allowed to say, are you?
I was playing a video game,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm not allowed to say what it was, I don't think, or anything about it. In fact, I don't know what I can and can't say about it because I copy and pasted you guys the instructions that Jack sent me, which was they were minimal to say the least.
Yes, very ambiguous.
Yeah, don't talk about on social media previews or something else, etc.
No streaming.
No streaming. That's what it was. Yeah.
Is this considered social media?
I don't know, but I haven't mentioned what it is.
No, you haven't.
I imagine you can't restrict me saying that I am playing a game.
No.
Yeah,
that's vague enough that.
And I'm not going to say whether I like it or not, but
that also.
I was up until 2 in the morning.
But you were up till 2 o'clock in the morning, so
I looked at the clock and it was 12 or 12, and I went, okay, I'm getting up. I'm going to the fitness class tomorrow morning. I should go to bed shortly, but I'll just finish this, or I'll just do one of these. Yeah, absolute rookie mistake. And then literally the next time I looked at the time, it was 2 in the morning, and I went, oh shit, tomorrow's kind of going to suck a little bit.
So you got clear to drive?
Sorry?
So you got clear to drive?
No. We don't even own a car, so there was no driving to be done today anyway.
So you couldn't have drive regardless?
No, I couldn't drive if I wanted to. It was more of a hypothetical.
Oh, right.
Should I want or need to?
If you wanted to drive, you wouldn't be able to.
No.
Yeah, like if I wanted to fly right now, I wouldn't be able to.
No. The same reason as me, because you don't own a plane.
No, I do not.
No.
It also is tired, and it would be unsafe.
Yes. Yeah. It makes flying hard when you're tired and all of the arm flapping.
Correct.
Yeah.
I hate jumping jacks, so I think that'd be even worse.
You what?
I hate star jumps.
You hate star jumps?
I do.
I don't think anybody really likes star jumps.
No. So I can't imagine being a bird.
Fair.
Yeah, that's got to... I guess it'd be like walking, though.
Your arms are going a different direction, though. Like, I would assume if you're flying, you're not flying like...
Humans fly vertically.
Do they?
They do.
I'm not sure I believe that. Like, everything I've seen about Superman flying, for example, Superman doesn't fly vertically.
Superman is fictional.
Well, okay.
We're talking about the real world here, Thomas.
We're talking about real world. I still think aerodynamically, it makes so much more sense for you to be flying like head first and neck up, looking where you're going. And,
that would hurt your neck really.
Actually, well, the only real life flying I've seen of a person is jetpacks, and you need to have that downward thrust. So you want to be vertical because that's the least.
Nah, but that's where you're wrong, because I think like the Martin jetpacks or whatever have got kind of like almost like a glide wing sort of thing on the back.
Ooh,
so once you get up and going quick enough, you can point yourself, because you want all your velocity to be shooting you the direction you want to go.
That's true.
Which is
it's just the initial liftoff is the problem.
Okay, they're flying at an angle like that.
You just need thrust to get off the ground.
A 60-degree angle.
40. No, but still, you're being inefficient. You would want to be pointing upwards very slightly, just to make sure you don't put yourself into the ground.
Realistically, how long can you have your head bent backwards without it being really uncomfortable?
See, I think it would just take practice.
Yeah.
And
no, you just need to get mirrors. Just need to get mirrors underneath your eyes.
some sort of mirror apparatus or a pair of goggles that, goes underneath your eyes,
or like a camera.
Across, like, the bridge
just stick a camera to the top of your head.
Put a GoPro live feed.
Yeah.
Iron Man
GoPro do live feed? They should. New feature for GoPro, live feed. Trademark. I'll mail this episode to myself so that we know that I've got the date on that.
Why would you need to mail it to yourself? How would you even mail it to yourself?
It's more of a turn of phrase. You know. Do you not know that that's a thing?
No, I've never heard that saying before.
Oh, I don't know if it actually works, but there's kind of a rough concept, I think, in trademark. Maybe not in law, but maybe in Days Gone kind of trademarking stuff. You would have an idea, write it down on a piece of paper, post it to yourself, and so you'd get like the postage stamp on it, like the date that it was posted, and then you could claim that you had this idea if somebody tried to patent it before you. You can say, hey, actually, look at this, I had this idea X number of years ago or X period of time ago. It's actually my idea, it's not new to you.
That makes sense, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So what's this got to do with Days Gone?
What?
When did the zombies come into it?
Days Gone. I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, that kind of came slightly from left field, if I'm being honest.
Not really.
Days Gone is not the game.
You did say
that
Days Gone.
Did I? Oh yeah, I did say Days Gone, didn't I? In oldie worldy time, then is that better? There's not a game.
I guess it'll have to
oldie worldy time. What?
I was just making sure for the listeners they weren't getting confused.
There probably is a game called Oldie Worldy Time on Steam.
Or if not, we're gonna mail ourselves a letter.
If not, yeah, I'll mail myself Oldie Worldy Time, so that I can.
What would be the modern analog of that? Just like writing a note and the metadata showing when you wrote it?
I guess, but that can all be hacked and altered, can't it?
I don't know.
I'd assume. Anything digital is 50% chance it's fake now.
You know, Abraham Lincoln
just
once
like
said,
that statistic,
don't believe everything you read
out
on
of
the
my
internet.
ass. Probably not, but it feels like it sometimes.
Ashley, have you read Kill or Be Killed yet?
No, I have not. I apologize.
You're a horrible
useless.
I know.
You could probably get the trade, the first one on Comixology for like $3 or something.
No, I think it's like
could.
$5.99 or something.
Do it.
Yeah.
Great series. I get an email from my my local comic shop every week that is the list of new issues coming out this week.
Oh, do you get it physically?
Yeah, I get it physically.
Oh.
Yeah, so I look on, like, I get this email every Friday, or maybe it's every Thursday, that says issues that'll be out like Friday lunchtime. Always scroll immediately to check if image Kill or Be Killed. No, fuck, it's not there. For some
probably
reason
just
not
find out
bothered
what dates it comes out.
Yeah, no,
You can get volume. You can get volume 1 for $7.99.
It's like
So
10
25%.
Or is that in Australian dollars from Amazon?
No, that's in US dollars.
Yeah, US dollars on Comixology.
Yeah, it's on sale at the moment.
It's on sale. Do it.
Yeah.
You've got literally no excuse.
I want you to do it right now.
Do it.
I'm recording. I don't want to.
While we're watching.
Throw out.
Oh no!
I don't want to throw it out.
You're probably.
I don't want to mess with my internet.
Screw your machine up.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Fucking technology. Who needs it?
I am, I think, reasonably excited for Days Gone, though, as much as I've seen of it.
As I am too, actually.
I think people are kind of just pissing and moaning, and they're not sure they want another zombie game. But
fuck it, give it to me.
Actually, if it's fun,
who cares?
What does it matter? Yeah, go and shoot some zombies. Like I can't. You probably can. Now that I say it, but apart from something like Dead Nation, there's nothing I can really think of that's like 100 zombies chasing you and you're just trying to mow them down. Call of Duty Zombies. Call of Duty Zombies, but that is like round based.
Left 4 Dead's like that.
Is it? I've never played Left 4 Dead.
No, they're good.
Or
they're a bit old those days.
Dead Rising? Is that one anything like it?
No,
Yeah,
there's lots of zombies, but it's very comical.
What's that other Xbox zombie game that's coming out? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, is that the one where the second one's coming out soon?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, well, I haven't played those other games, and I don't have an Xbox. So I'm kind of like, yeah, it's like they're not clickers and other things that I have to be stealthy and potentially don't have to manage my resource quite as much. And if it's an open world as opposed to like corridors or like semi-open areas, then fucking give it to me. Give it to me already, Bend. I want it now.
Actually, speaking of zombie games, the other week I went and did a VR experience. Like, they've got this VR gaming place in Brisbane at the moment. It's like
Oh,
a giant
do
warehouse.
you have to go somewhere to do
Yeah, you
VR?
have to go somewhere. It's like an actual physical experience.
Oh, that must suck.
So like you put that VR headset on, you get like a proper physical gun to hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just go through this VR zombie experience. It's really cool.
Do you like walk
Yeah,
through
you walk around.
Oh, it's like that kind of but yeah, I've seen one similar to that
Yeah.
you must be like strapped into fucking some unit, like
Yeah.
a set of rails above you or something like that, but kind of like laser tag, those old
Yeah, sort of like laser
games.
tag.
Yeah, kind of like that, but in VR, much more accurate.
Did it have like force feedback type stuff? Like when they got you, you felt it?
No, it's
all?
just
No.
an aim controller.
No, it was like a proper gun sort of shaped thing with buttons and triggers
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, an aim controller.
You didn't
Speaking of-
feel anything. It was just like a visual red, obviously, basic.
Yeah. Because I know there's some that I've seen that they have like little vibrating things in the vests and stuff like that. So you
Ooh,
know.
it's interesting. That would be the next step. Although the craziest thing is we're walking and we had to go up a ramp, and obviously it's like just a flat warehouse.
Yeah.
So just walking up that ramp was like the weirdest sensation. And then we had to jump into a helicopter, and there was like
Did
the
you run
gap in
into
between.
anything?
Sorry.
Did you run into anything?
No, they had like it was pretty clear. Obviously, you could. There's the only real problem is the other players who are around at the same
Yeah.
time. So, but there's
Was
like
there any-
little radars on
Was
the.
it like a single player story thing for you? Or
No,
were you
it's
there
like
with a
8
group
people
of
going at the
or-
same time. It's like a, just like a player experience. I guess like a adventure tale. I guess would be the best way to describe it.
Was there any like noticeable latency between what everyone was doing and it showing to you?
Not really. No, I guess it felt like sometimes things should have been shot, and took a little while to register, or you notice some of the zombies do the exact same movements and that sort of thing. But
Could you die?
yeah, there were deaths. You could die, and then you just sort of it goes black and white until you get revived. From what
Oh,
I
okay.
understand, I didn't die, so
pro
yeah,
gamer.
pro game over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like
Pro
some of your
zombie killer.
Apparently,
gamer
our
got
team
plans.
our team got the 8th highest score of all the teams, the 600 and something plus teams that went through
Wow.
the experience so
pretty
far.
good.
So yeah,
How much did it cost you?
it was like $66 a person.
For how long?
Is 30 to 45 minutes, I think. So
I think you could go and get number one.
yeah, maybe.
Go back.
Man,
Go back,
if I was that close, I would probably walk out and be like, okay, guys, now we know where they're coming from and what's going on. You, dickhead, don't die this time. And make sure you're fucking taking your headshots. And we're going back through.
No, yeah.
Competitive.
Maybe if we do Extra Life again next year, and we're in Melbourne. Apparently, there's one down in Melbourne.
Oh,
yeah.
It's got like a hardcore mode where there's permadeath and no friendly fire and stuff like that. So
Well, you mean there is
Or there
friendly
is
fire.
friend, yeah.
yeah, there is friendly fire. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
The
interesting.
similar. I always wanted to do something. There's one down in Sydney, I think, that's similar, kind of like an escape room type thing, but something like that with zombies and stuff that you go through and have to navigate. But it's like that, but without VR.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that feels to me like it's getting very close to a haunted house, and I'm not really
Yeah.
interested in a
No.
haunted
Yeah.
house.
No.
Yeah, I'm happy.
See,
for
VR would make that more scary because
Yeah.
it's like outside the realm of possibilities. Really, anything can happen.
Yeah, maybe.
Go play Arizona Sunshine on PSVR.
I would, but it was like $50 or something when it came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was quite expensive because you
don't
recommended
remember
it, and I was
paying
like,
that much.
I'll look and see a review. And then reviews came in, were like, yeah, this is a thing. It's not fantastic.
I thought it was great.
Huh.
How many times have you played it though?
I'm up to a part where it's pitch black and I get scared and I can't get through it.
Did you see me playing Outlast?
Yes.
And you are trying to recommend Arizona Sunshine to me?
But I'm more afraid of the dark than zombies.
Yeah, the dark's pretty scary.
What's the deal with it being called Sunshine and you're in a completely dark area then?
No, it's like you're going through the Arizona like desert. Yeah, and then you come to like a mine thing you have to go through.
Oh yeah.
That's later in the game.
It is 64 New Zealand dollars to buy new.
Jesus Christ, I don't remember paying that much for it. Maybe they had like a release day special type thing.
Two helicopters today. Two helicopters I've had.
Is there's something going down?
Oh, I don't know.
Your neighbour won't like that.
No, poor Alana. She'll be. Do
you want to tell that story? I don't.
Yeah, that's a story, isn't it? So, it was basically the end of 2 weeks off for Christmas, and Claire had a
forced 2 weeks off.
Was that?
It was a forced 2 weeks off.
Well, yeah, I had a forced 2 weeks off, having been made redundant shortly beforehand. So we had my family here for Christmas. Mum and Dad were here for a week. My brother was here for 2. Claire's mum and dad and my sister and her husband all came down for 2 nights or something like that.
They all fit in the spare bedroom.
No, there's a motel basically just across the road. And an air mattress in the lounge. But yeah, we had 2 weeks of just family being about and mucking around and doing all sorts, and got a barbecue, so we were out barbecuing on the deck here and there. And because it was so hot, just the door's always open, and clearly the neighbour's door is always open. And then one night, it was, what was it, probably... Oh, it says on Airbnb here, the 4th of January. It was like the last night that my brother had left that day, and Claire's friend was staying for the night, and I had 2 other friends come. We had a barbecue. There were 5 of us, a couple of drinks, and it was like 9:30 at night or something. This person called Alana. I get like a booking through Airbnb, but turns out it's my neighbour. Hi Thomas, we live in the Detroit complex near you and have been finding your Airbnb guests pretty noisy lately, especially today. I was wondering if you could please ask your current and future guests to keep the noise down for the consideration of people who live in this complex. Thanks. Would be appreciated. Alana. And I was furious. I was like, I've got friends here having a barbecue. There aren't even any... There's no Airbnb happening, and there hasn't been for 2 weeks. You're just, like, sending this insanely passive-aggressive message to me about enjoying my house. So, I was like one cider away from just walking into the courtyard and just starting yelling at her, not knowing which of my neighbours she was, but just yelling out into the courtyard and seeing what happens. But I instead responded, "Hey Alana, today we have, because it was still in progress, friends around for a barbecue and a couple of drinks. Over the last 2 weeks, we've had family staying for the Christmas New Year holiday. The door and windows have been open because it's been so hot lately. The noise we have made is no different to or greater than the music that streams into the courtyard from the 2nd/3rd floor above the post boxes on a regular basis." There's pausing my message. There's somebody who lives in a different apartment that I swear just blasts music out of the window into the courtyard like twice, 3 times a week. Oh, sometimes you could sing along, but sometimes it's shit. And I said, feel free to come down and see me if ever you have an issue, Thomas.
Has she ever seen you?
She has not come down to see me, and I have since actually found out who she is.
Whoa!
It's kind
what
of
a development.
Kind of fun.
Is she hot?
No. No, she's I'm 99% sure she is our neighbour upstairs, like immediately upstairs, because I know the guy that lives in there, and his wife's name is Alana. Like I used to work with him in a bar like 8 years ago at this point or something like that.
What are the chances of that?
A long time ago. So I recognise him. I don't know if he recognises me. But yeah, I know his wife's name's Alana, so I'm like pretty sure it's you. Yeah, I think you crossed a line there. We were inside, like I don't think we even had music on. I think we were just inside talking.
You know what gets me is the amount of effort she went to. Like, how did she know you were Airbnb and create an account and make a booking and message you?
Make a booking request that she... what the thing that I did first was like approved her request to book the room for a night. I was like, fuck yeah, like if you screw up, I'll take $40 from you. Like, bitch. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know how she knows that we have the spare room on Airbnb.
Yeah.
And like, the people that stay here make zero noise ever because it's not their house and they're just passing through for a couple of days.
I couldn't stay in one. I'd be so paranoid.
Yeah.
That I'd do something to the house, or I don't know.
Why is
Cameras.
It's not entirely private either.
Yeah.
Like I just couldn't do it. I can have people stay at my place, but I couldn't go to somebody else's places and like. I'd feel like I'm
never stayed at a
imposed.
friend's house, or
I have,
just,
but this is different.
Not
this
like
is
a stranger.
This is a stranger's house. Like you feel like you're imposing on them.
What if they're not? Like, I understand if they're there, but what if it's one of those ones where they're not?
Oh, that's
there?
fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
It's more that-
interaction.
Yeah.
Forced interaction.
Yeah. I hate.
Yeah.
I don't want to interact with people unless I want to or don't or have to.
What I
I
appreciate
don't think
is you
that was a
finding that.
sentence, to be honest.
It was.
I appreciate you finding that message so quickly.
Me?
He had it ready.
Yeah.
It's
had
his
it ready to
background
go.
on his phone.
It's
What motivates him every day.
yeah. I review it on a daily basis to make sure I'm fired up for everything I've got to achieve.
Especially for karate.
No, it's very easy to find on the Airbnb app. It's pretty good.
Do you allow people with pets to stay?
No. I'm pretty sure the booking says no pets. Yeah.
Hypocrite.
Charlie
I
wants
think.
no competition.
Yeah, Charlie has like a rough enough time when my brother comes up with his dog. Like, I'd hate for every second guest to be bringing like a completely different dog and smell into the house, and Charlie just getting upset about it.
That's fair.
I don't think it would be particularly fair on him. Like he's not. I wouldn't say he's antisocial, but it takes him a while to. He's either immediately best friends with a dog that he meets, or it can take him like weeks to warm up to wanting to spend time with another dog. Yeah. He's a bit weird, but
It's like a real person.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I found? Because I didn't grow up with pets. But on having pets, now that I've owned my own house, like, you kind of realise just how much of a personality animals have. They're not just, like, all the same. They're all their own different individual...
Not all
I
pets
guess.
are the same, Nicholas.
Yeah.
No, but, like...
Well,
like,
cows are. That's why we feel comfortable
never
eating.
owning a bird or having much interaction with birds. Like, my three birds are completely different in personality and the way they interact with each other and do things. It's just... It was like... As an observation, it was mind-blowing to me, I guess.
What inspired you to get so many pets if you didn't have anything growing up? Or was it because you didn't growing up and you wanted
Withdrawal.
to?
Yeah.
My whole life, I always wanted a dog, and I was told I'm not allowed to have one until, like, I basically own my own place. And then...
Wow.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you did...
Yeah.
Double birds.
No, we weren't allowed to have
Like,
pets where
to
the
your
flat
parents.
we were staying in, but we ended up buying a bird and then got given a rabbit. And then we moved into this place and we bought a guinea pig to go live with the rabbit.
Did
then
they
we
make
got-
particularly good friends? Or did you just...
Yeah, they got along.
Oh, good.
And they ate the same kind of food too, so...
Well, it's,
And then-
the alternate being getting another rabbit to be friends with the rabbit.
No, we didn't want another rabbit. And then we ended up getting Jack's our dog. And then what did we get? We got another guinea pig the same day we got Jack's. And then we got given a bird. And then we got Maddie, our second dog, and then got given another bird.
Who's
And
giving you
then-
these animals?
People that can't look after their own birds anymore.
Are they getting too old, or birds
No,
are
like
boring
one of them was a
creatures,
deceased.
or-
One of them was a deceased estate, and the other one was I think they were moving away or something, like friends of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So if you
And
need to get
then-
rid of your animals, hit up at Lord N.Prior.
And hit up at
Well,
Lord
we don't-
N. Prior on Twitter. That's a good little segue there, Ash.
Is it?
Yeah, and probably if you want to hit him up about anything else on this episode of Pleasure Explosion, you could do that. Where could people hit you up, Ash?
You can hit me up on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEY, It's a thing. I can't.
Where
have
can
any
they
pets
knock
at my
you
place. Up the butt? I don't know. I don't think you can, but
Evidently, he's welcome to trying. So he's open to trying.
with consent.
It sounds like you just gave like broad sweeping consent there.
It was more of a question than
It will hold up in court. Trust me.
Yeah. Just I'll make a time note just to be sure.
Post it
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
I'll post this to myself.
Post it to yourself. Yeah. And despite thinking I had nothing to talk about for an hour with you guys, I have managed. And if you have any issues with anything I've said, TomDaBomb89, TomDabom 89.
And send your complaints to don't@explosionnetwork.com.
Yep.
Because
get
don't
read.
at me, and it's kind of funny.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a
It's one that Nick
don't at
likes.
me as a thing.
I love it.
Bye.
See,
Bye.
that went well.
This February, check out our YouTube and social channels for video content from RTX Sydney, where everything began for the Explosion Network crew last year. On March 3rd, we'll be running a celebratory Twitch stream to mark year 2 of the network. It'll take place 10 AM Sunday morning to midnight and feature the usual shenanigans, but also some exciting announcements about new content coming from the crew in 2018. So make sure you keep that Saturday free. Of course, our weekly shows continue with Pleasure Explosion on Mondays, Platinum Explosion Tuesdays, and Grandstand Gurus Thursdays, each at 12 PM. Catch our live streams at twitch.tv/Explosion Network and keep your targets locked on explosionnetwork.com for all our explosive content. Happy birthday, Explosion Network, but more importantly, happy birthday, me.